Okay. All right. So I think we're going to start, shall we? So for this webinar, we're going to talk about getting started with LiveChat. So the goals are to introduce LiveChat to you all and to show how it works from the instructor's view, the student's view, grading of that type of assignment. We will discuss some best practices that have been done in the classroom this semester. And then I will open for a Q&A session at the end. So let me start with talking a little bit about the institution that I work for. I work for Rider University here in New Jersey. Rider is a small university with 4,500 students. We normally have 23 students per class, and the classes meet normally 3 times a week. We also have other classes that meet twice, and very, very few, only a couple, once per week, because we really motivate the students to take the class 3 times a week. That gives consistency and also engagement for a longer period of time. We also expect that the student will put an hour of study on their own per hour that they meet with us in the classroom. So with no further ado, let me tell you a little bit about LiveChat. What it is a synchronous audio and video recording capability, so instructors can easily facilitate oral practice outside and inside the classroom. This is how a normal, a regular screen will look like once you are chatting with your colleague. At this point, you will see all the people that are participating in the chat. And here is the main, would say the chat leader, the person who opened the room to initiate the chat or the discussion. In this window here, we will also see the people that are available for chatting. And I'm going to show in a little bit live. I have a student with me that will help me to show you through the entire process again. I just want to show you, in general terms what it looks like, but I will reconstruct this later. So here is a picture of an activity, the way that it will look like for the student. So it basically is divided in 4 main parts. The first part here is where it tells the student the context, the situation, and the instruction that the teacher would like them to do. Here is pretty much the outcome, all right, in this section. An example, a model of the outcome that you would like the students to perform is pretty much just as an example. So it is important that you tell the students, this is just a guidance. You can actually come up with different sort of outcome, but just so they know what your expectations are. And then the third area is where they will have these, let's put it, tools where they can, if you click, and we're going to do that in a second, where when you click, they're going to receive a list of tips to prepare them for the activity. I will highly recommend that you would either post this in your, if you have a content management system, or email them before the activity so they know. Also, here is a video where they can familiarize with the logistics of how to answer in the exercise. And here is some diagnostic tool that will allow the student to see if their computer is really enabled with the tools that are required for them to do the activity, which is basically audio and video. Okay? All right. I would like to show you an example of a video two of my students, when they did this activity in class, I think it was a month ago almost. So let's watch a little bit of this video so you see how the outcome, how the outcome looked like.
¿Qué comida te gusta cuando sales a comer?
Cuando salgo a comer, me gusta los restaurantes italianos porque me gusta comer pasta.
¿Qué felicidades?
¿Y tú qué comida te gusta cuando sales a comer?
A mí me gusta comer en un restaurante jamaicano porque me gustan los plátanos. Me gusta comer los huevos con el jamón. A mí no me gustan los mariscos, pero para los postres me gusta o me encanta el helado de vainilla. Oh.
So something that I would like to give you a little bit of background about this class. This class is the second semester of Spanish. Here at Writer, we call it 101. So we have it 100 and then the 101. For some other institutions, you might call it 102, but it's the second semester of the class. In this particular instance, we see a student A looking at, what he's looking is at the book and the list, the vocabulary list, which I really found interesting in the way that he's using the resources from what we're going about to really help him express his ideas or his opinions or his, in this case, his life. All right. So now that, I show you very briefly what, how it looks like, an example of an outcome, now I'm going to take you step by step of how to, from the instructor's view, what you need to do in order to plan this activity for your students. Then I'm going to move you to the student's view, and then we're going to go back and see the grading screen. So, all right, let me take you to the instructor's view. All right. So for the instructor's view, it's just taking a little bit of time. Okay. All right. Here we are. So for the instructor's view, we have the today's view, normally the one that everybody sees, right? And then we have the calendar, okay? Here I have already scheduled some of them, and I'm going to show you how you can schedule one for your class. Now let me just exit out of these screens, okay? So you go to course materials or assignment calendar, assignment calendar when you're ready to put, and then in the assignment calendar, here I find that I can either go to chapter, right, and then per chapter, our activities in the LiveChat, is in the e-text activities folder. That's where they are housed, right? And if we click in here, let's click on that one, and then let's find the way, how can we differentiate that from any other one? So here, obviously, we have the text and the page where the activity, that's not the one. We want those that are called live chat, okay? These are the ones that you would like to see. Because I normally assign different types of assignments, of tasks. So I like to go this way. Just open the unit and go by the folder. But there is also a quicker way to do it. Just go to this window and input live chat, okay? hit go, and then your screen will be populated only with LiveChat activities from the different units. Like say Unit 1, right? Practice 2, Unit 1, Practice 2. So all the way to, you know, different units. So let's suppose I'm in Unit 3. And I say, let's see, ¿cuánto saben, right? How much do you know? It is in Unit 4, so I would like to see how it looks like. So I click you, and then it said, oh, first I see you can perform the function, then read the situation. So here, what I showed you earlier, right? That's how it looks like. The instruction, an example of the outcome, and then this section that will help them prepare for the activity. So let's click in LiveChat tips. That will bring this sort of place with, you know, pretty much pieces of advice of how to prepare for the assignment, okay, and with instructions. All right, so let's go back to this one. And then see in action, if you click that, will take you to the video, all right? This video is 7 minutes long, so I'm not going to play it now, obviously, but they, you know, if they see this, it's very clear, very intuitive. It's a perfect length for them to just watch it prior to the activity. Okay. And then the LiveChat diagnostic, which will show if your, you know, your computer is really prepared, it is the correct browser, the webcam, and the audio, and it will appear as checks. So I'm not, because I don't want to do anything that will interfere with my webinar right now, but that's what basically it is. So I said, you know, why not? I really like this activity. It really helped me to see what the students can do with the language. So I'm going to go ahead and just click and assign the day and drop. Click and drop, or drag and drop. And there it is. This activity has been scheduled for the 27th. All right? That's all. So we are now ready. Okay, ready for the, as a teacher, that's all that you can do, and then wait for the students to do the assignment. Now, I'm going to put the other hat as a student. So let's go to the student section. Okay, so here is the student section, all right? So basically what happens is that they normally will see these, you know, today's view, today's the 20th, so let's see what I have. I have some assignments, and here is the list, right? As I said to you, these assignments of LiveChat are housed in the e-text folder, right? And I'm ready to do the assignment, okay? So let's see, my student should be on the other line, and then I click here. All right. And again, you're all familiarized with this one, but I will, I don't know if you remember, but at the beginning I said 4 sections, right? But I have only shown you 3, 1, 2, 3. The 4th section is the window, the room as we call it, right, where they're going to join, where the students are going to join to do the exercise. So in this particular exercise, pretty much talking about the preferences, right? Yeah, Placenta. So we're going to talk about in a restaurant and what sort of, one is going to be the waiter and the other going to be the client. So they're going to talk about the specialties of the house. All right. So we're going to create a room. Something that I want you to remember is this button. Please, please, please remind your students to submit the assignment all of them, not only just the leader of the group, but everybody in that chat room needs to submit the assignment, because they all gonna think, oh, I don't need to submit it because the person, that opened the room will do it automatically for us. That's not gonna happen. They all have to submit, so for them to be able to get the grade, okay? So let's create the room. So by creating the room, okay, I'm gonna say, okay. And I have one of my students, so hello everybody. Here is what they will look like, how their screen will look like. And I have one of the students waiting to be invited, all right? So before I invite her, let me talk a little bit about this screen. I remember I showed you, but I wanna kind of point it out now that we are live. Okay, here is in these areas where we will see everybody that is participating in the chat. Here is me, but in this case, Lizzie, which is my name, is going to be the group leader, all right? And in this area are the students that can be invited to join to the room. In this case, I think you can do up to four. Not in this chat. We can ask one of the Pearson representatives that are with us about the specific number of people that can be in a chat room. I would really not recommend to go larger than that. For me, a group of 3 would make the interaction more effective, and you will be able to get more output out of each of the participants. So that's my advice. Then we will have the start recording. I'm the only one who will have this capability. I also can review the video after we do it, and then there is a text chat that they can click just to prepare, and how they, this new generation pretty much loves to. So I'm going to send a chat to Emma. I think is called Emma. So, Emma, we are ready. Okay, so I'm going to invite her just by clicking invite. Okay, so she probably is going to get a text popping up saying you have been invited to join this room. Just let's give a little bit of time for her to join. It all depends also on the speed of your web page. Let me see. If not, let me just call. Hi, I already sent you the invitation. Yeah. Okay. All right. Bye. Okay. Okay, there it is. Hi, Emma. Oh, bonjour. No, bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Comment ça va?
Ça va bien,
Yeah, très bien. Très bien. My French is everybody should excuse my French. But just for the sake of the exercise, and Emma is very forgiving, right, Emma? So we're going to try, Emma. This is the situation, right? And Emma probably read it before. Did you read the instructions? So we're going to be at the restaurant, right? And do you want to be the waiter, or do you want me to be the waiter?
It doesn't matter.
I think I prefer you to be the waiter because your French is far better. And then I'm going to ask Emma about the different dishes, right? Okay? Okay. So when we are ready, I'm going to start recording. Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bonsoir. Avez-vous un menu?
Bonsoir. Oui. Merci. Ici le menu. Qu'est-ce que vous me recommandez pour ce soir?
Je recommandais des poulets avec lait et la nature. C'est très bien.
Oh. Et combien est-ce qu'il y a de plats? Combien d'argent?
Oh, 20 euros.
Mais vous avez du dessert?
Oh, oui.
Oui, quelle chose?
Des galets et des glaces, vanille ou chocolat.
Oh, bon, c'est très délicieux. Des plats de chocolat, s'il vous plaît. Merci. So let's suppose we're going to just stop for the sake of the exercise. And then we stop here. And then we can review it, actually, and say, well, Emma, let's see how it looks from our end, if you like it or not, if we like it. So if you hit here, bonsoir, oui, merci. Okay. Qu'est-ce que vous me recommandez pour ce soir?
Je recommandais des poulets avec lait et...
So that's how, and let's suppose Emma and I, do you agree? Let's submit it, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
So Emma will have to submit the assignment. And how do you do that again? By clicking submit for grading. So Emma and I, you have to do it too, and I will do it too. And then we will submit the assignment for grading. Okay, so could you do it too, Emma? Thank you. And then finish. All right. So we have already, here is the activity. It has already been submitted. So we are ready pretty much for our exercise. So now I'm going to change my hat and put the teacher's hat. Okay? So it's already the next day, the following day, and I would like to see the different, how the students did for this exercise. So, okay, I just muted myself because this is so, okay, here it is. So we're going to go to today's view. All right, again, we're going to bring that screen again. And then here are some of the things that have been submitted, past due, or not submitted. So we're going to see, here it is. Here are our, these are from previous, but you will see the activity in this one. These are, no, because it's not past due, so let me see if it will show in that calendar. Okay, so we're gonna click on this one. I also will go to the grade book, but I think it's easier to go on these two for this particular assignment. I can also view the submission from here just by clicking on the activity as I did. So let me just take back and see what I did. Okay. So you're going here, click on the activity, and then click on this little arrow or here, and then view submission. All right. So here are my 2 submissions that are pending for grading. So I can review the video for Lizzie, right? And it's going to bring you, how did I bring this window right here? Just by clicking in this blue arrow right here, okay? So once you get into this, there are 3 areas that I would like to focus on, okay? This first area are the participants, and if you notice, there are some with have this symbol. You can see this symbol here, and you can see this symbol here, right? What it means is that it's telling you as the teacher who the leader was, okay? So this is the chat leader. In my case, it was Lizzie, right? And then Emma was the other student. So you can review it by playing it here, as we did.
Bonsoir, oui, merci.
Is not, so we already saw parts of it. I just don't like to see myself so many times. And then you can download also the video, right? So after you review, you can provide feedback. You can provide feedback. You can put the score. Let's suppose you have 4 students here. You can input the grade here, and it will give the same score to everybody, or you can do it individually just by inputting the number, right? You can also provide written feedback, right? So I'm going to say to Lizzie, you know, Lizzie, make sure you study the verbs associated with, for instance, okay? But I can also provide recording. So I can record my voice by clicking on that speaker, and then I can say, mess up with our webinar. But you can record your voice and say, Lizzie, pronounce this, so you can actually provide the model type of a pronunciation, okay? So once you just I'm going to give Emma 100. Of course, I'm going to give myself 100. So I save and close, okay? And that will give them all, and that is the grading, okay? So pretty much that is the entire process from the teacher perspective and from the student perspective. So let's go back to my PowerPoint. Okay. So after, I have already done this during this semester at least 3 times, and some of the pieces of advice I can provide is ask the students to see the training video before assigning the task. I remember I left this for just doing it during the class, but it wasn't a really good idea the very, very first time. After that, because they have already seen how the activity looked like, it was far easier. So that's one of my pieces of advice for you all. Also, assign partners before starting the task. This can really save a whole lot of time. If you're doing it inside of class, make sure that you have your pairings or your groups already set up, or just take a few minutes or a few seconds before the class starts just to say you three go together, you three go together. Because one of the things that happens, I left it open for them to form the groups, and guess what? I ended up with 6 students in one room. I mean, you can have 6 students for one room if that's what you choose. My preference is there were too many, so I was only able to hear 3 of them. That's it. The others were very quiet. And then if it's outside of class, make sure that they share each other's way of contact information. They can do it using Canvas too. Canvas is our, by the way, Canvas is our content management. It's an equivalent of Blackboard. So that's how I do it. I make sure that they have a partner assigned. And also, if not, if they come back to you, because they can only record if they have a partner, okay? Tell them to record when they are ready, and please specify that, because otherwise they're going to sit down and you're going to hear the whole lot of English and the logistics of how they're going to do that. So ask them to record before, only when they are ready to do the exercise. And then submit the recording, please. Just make sure that you reinforce that, because they're going to believe that it's the leader, the person in charge of that recording, of that submission. And again, I stress that a lot because it happens, and it still happens a little bit sometimes. So one of the things that I have observed in class as the advantages of using live chatting in my course is that it provides more opportunities for oral production. Remember, we have 23 students. Some classes in some universities even have 30. So for them to really be able to give the opportunity for output, it's very limited in a class. So, well, you know, group work will help that a lot, but using live chat will extend that opportunity. It helps me to contextualize content and give some meaningful, meaning process. So say, you know, after go with Gustad, and then we were talking about food, and then put it in the context of a restaurant, and then they have to discuss what restaurant they prefer. I really see the meaning and the purpose of the activity. So to make it more meaningful, it also helps me to make it more meaningful and more dynamic, as I said, because students are far more active in and engaging with the language. To support the students' willingness to communicate also, that helps me. I've seen an increase of students that are very, very quiet in class. In the video, they absolutely just speak like that. It was really amazing to see. Now, oral assessment. When I use live chat for oral assessment, it allows me to get more output. Let's remember in old times, and I still see this way of doing oral assessment. The student goes to the professor's office, and there are questions and answers, but still each student has from 5 to 10 minutes. And but it seems a lot of time, but most of the time it's silent or thinking. In this one, using live chat would allow me to diversify the type of activity and see the use of the language in different contexts and in a shorter amount of time. So that's why I really like to use this tool as a way to complement and implement every activity, not every activity, but the important points in class. How does it help me outside of class? It supports interpersonal communication outside of class. The only time that they have to use the language is in class, but these will really help us to extend that opportunity beyond the walls of the classroom. And then it helps to keep students engaged in the language learning process outside of class. So some of the feedback that I have gotten from the students are, I really like it because I can practice my pronunciation. It is very helpful. It was interesting. I really like it. It was interesting and fun. So this was the first time I just ran it just to get a sense of how they, they reacted to the activity. But some other, pieces that I have found through, showing this or doing live chat is that the students says to me, oh, I was able to express more, and I was surprised of how much I can say. So that also sees that an opportunity for them to be able to visualize what they're able to do when they probably had an idea, a remote idea, said I can only say words, but when they see themselves putting those words together, it actually creates some sense of purpose and motivation too. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Oh, no, I'm not going to start. So that's pretty much what I have today for you. So I would like to open the discussion for questions. If you have some pieces, some Q&A. And I think everybody can talk, right? Hello?
Yes, everybody can.
Yeah. So are there any questions for me?
I don't have any questions, Maria. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoy it then.